Hi everyone, welcome back to Camonia Designs. I'm Sandra. I'm the illustrator and calligrapher based in Houston, Texas that runs this business. I have been away for just a little bit and I thought it would be fitting to return with an illustration because it's kind of been a while since I've painted anything. And also I just felt pretty rusty, but I had some artwork that I needed to complete for Patreon to create some snail mail for my snail mail tier on Patreon. And so I designed these Monstera leaves just a little while back. I feel like every time I paint anything, it's Monstera leaves on here. I'm pretty sure I've painted one before, if I'm not mistaken, like way back when I started YouTube. But I had this pattern in mind for quite a while actually, and I just wanted to try it out and see how it went. I debated between using inks and using alcohol markers or trying maybe Posca pens, but in the end my love of watercolor returned and I stuck to that. So I am using right now just a water brush and a kit from Winsor and Newton. These are the Codman watercolor paints, and I don't really know much about them. I haven't really used them too many times. I typically use the Sakura set you've seen me use before, but I will link these below. And so if you want to try them out, I actually really like them. The colors are really vibrant. I haven't messed much with the colors on this video. I actually recorded all of this on my phone, so this is literally me going back to my olden YouTube days when I recorded everything from my phone, and I'm even doing this recording on my phone. So if the quality is slightly different than what you've been accustomed to lately, I apologize, but I hope that it's still decent enough that you can hear everything very well and that you can enjoy what's going on the screen. So this video is not going to be super long, but I thought I can still tell you a little bit about what it is that I'm doing. I basically just selected a few shades of green and I'm kind of just mixing and matching them. I didn't have a reference in front of me. I kind of just painted this from memory and a little bit from my mind, like the colors that I wanted to use for the month. I chose a Monstera leaf design for the month of March for Patreon, and for the snail mail tier I wanted it to kind of go with the same theme. So like I said, I had the pattern in mind and I just always wanted to do something like this as a painting. So I just drew all of these plants on my iPad. I actually created everything in Procreate, and then I reoriented the plants the way that I wanted them to be. Like I turned them in different locations, like I turned them so they can face different ways and so on, and I made some larger, some smaller. And if you know anything about Procreate, anytime you design something, as soon as you move or change that element in any way, it basically loses the clarity, so it actually messes with the pixelation. So once I set it up to be the way that I wanted, I just went back and drew again, and I kind of redid the line art on top of everything so that I would have very clean lines. That's one of the reasons that I kind of feel it's unfortunate on Procreate. Like it's not the best for things like this. It's kind of irritating, to be honest, but it's what I have right now, so it's what I use. But I would say for sure, if you plan on doing something like this, do all of that moving around and resizing in your sketch layer, so that way when you're ready to do your line art, you don't have to redo it again. You know, you can just do it the one time and then you're good to go. So I'll show you at the end of this video, but what I ended up doing was I scanned in this illustration when I was done, and I resized. I just basically created a new file on my computer and sized it to 2 by 6 inches in order to make that into bookmarks. And I also made one set of bookmarks before all of like the color was added on, so I have a black and white version which should be in my shop by the time you see this, but if it's not, then it will be soon. But I had one version that you can color in, so it's basically like a color me in bookmark, and then one version that has sort of that green leaf in the middle, the very big one, and then the one at the bottom that I'm painting right now, because those two were my favorite. I really like how the color combination came out and the vibrancy of them and just like the shapes and sizes. So I thought those turned out so well, and I was really happy with it. So this is it. I know it's been a while since I've made illustrations, but I have really missed doing this, and so I hope that I get to do a few more in the future. If there is anything that you enjoy watching me paint and you would like me to try, maybe something specific, maybe a plant, maybe an animal, maybe a person, I would be happy to try for sure. I could actually use more practice doing this stuff and recording it. So I'm gonna leave you with the rest of the time lapse, and I'll say thank you so much for watching. It's good to be back, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.